Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Nicole Mason with the Monday Midday Motivation. Thank you so much for tuning in, dropping in on my YouTube space. And I want to just pronounce a blessing over you, that God bless you and keep you in all of the things that you are doing. I wanted to give you some motivation today from the thought: focus on the promise and not the problem. The Bible is chock full of promises from God. There are over 630 promises from God. God promises to keep us and to protect us. God promises to bless us, and God promises us to be at peace with all men. God promises us all of these different things that we must access, and we must access it through our belief. You know, the Bible is clear that no weapon formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against us shall be condemned. That's a promise. God promises us that he will never leave us nor forsake us. That's a promise from God. God promises that he will be with us even until the ends of the ages. That's a promise from God. God promises to keep those that we love. He says in his word that he's never seen the righteous forsaken nor their seed begging for bread. That is a promise from God. And so we want to focus on the promises of God and not our problems. Listen, the world is full of problems. Our families and communities have problems. We all have problems, but it's how we deal with them that makes the difference. It's our perspective and how we deal with them that makes the difference. And so I want to share 3 steps with you on how to focus on the promise and not the problem. Number one, it is important to keep God in his proper position. And that is big. That God is so much bigger than everything that's going on, everything that's happening around us. So you want to keep God in his proper position, and that's big. And then number two, you want to keep your problems in their proper position, and that's small. Because at the end of the day, God really has given us everything that we need on the inside to navigate this thing we call life. First of all, in the book of Genesis, it says that we did not become living beings until God breathed his very essence into us. And so what that means is the fact of the matter is simply you have the spirit and the power of God on the inside of you. In the book of Psalms, it says God made us a little lower than the angels. And so that makes us little g's, and God is the big G. And so, really understanding where you stand with God is critically important. And we do that by understanding that God has all power, that God is bigger than anything that we could ever face, and really beginning to speak to our problems and keep them right where they need to be, and where they should be and where they're supposed to be, smaller than our God. And then lastly, and finally, keep your promises in their proper position, and that is front and center. Let me tell you, there is a word for every kind of situation in our lives. And whatever it is that you're going through, there is a word for you. If you are dealing with some kind of sickness and healing, there is a word that by God's stripes we shall be healed. If you are dealing with a sad heart, there is a word for you that God will make your heart glad. That when we turn to God, God will turn towards us. And so I want to encourage you to get into your word so that you can understand what the promises are over your life. And every problem that's in your life, God has already thought about it. God has already worked it out. And now you just have to walk it out, live it out, and continuously speak it out, speaking the word over your life. And knowing that when you focus on the promise, that then the problem will soon go away. And guess what? Even if the problem doesn't go away, it will not loom as large as it once did because now your perspective has changed. So that's the Monday Midday Motivation with Dr. Nicole Mason. Have a good day. Peace.